Good evening. It's Wednesday today, I believe. The weather here is too hot, to be honest. And, well, I have been busy. Now, the first thing I want to show you and talk to you about is the joys that beheld me yesterday. I helped a lady who was having problems exporting her stuff from Lace 8, and when she did, she got this big pile of space at the top. And as I showed you yesterday, I don't have that problem. I have a problem where one of my things suddenly grew this extra crap at the bottom that wouldn't disappear, and I couldn't do a damn thing about it because, well, it technically didn't exist. Anyway, while we were talking, I say talking, we were emailing, but while we were talking, this lady and I discovered we had different versions of Lace 8. And, well, hers was newer. Okay. You know, half the things that piss me off doesn't do it anymore. So I thought I would share this with you because many of the things that had been dragging me down. Now, I'm not going to say it's all better and perfect and I love it to death, for now there are new annoyances, but most of the annoyances are held within. So, for example, let me fill a shape. Let me pick a shape. We'll have a rectangle. So we'll do like a strip, chunk, and then we want to do some motif on it. So let's have one of them because we quite like them. They're quite nice. There we go, like that. And then we decide that, well, to make sure we can ruler it, we want to, if you notice now, the red lines are where the mouse pointer is, not off the edge of the window or 3 centimetres to the left. They're actually on the screen. I think I missed then actually because I clicked a dot. Let's click there. There you go. So now that's there. And again, you can kind of do that there. So that's now down there, and it still feels a little hit and miss that it's not quite where I want. There you go, 0, 0 is now here, roughly where the dot is. Well, that's quite nice. And then let's take our motif, and we'll do some of what we did yesterday, which was, now we want to highlight our motif, if that's okay with you, please, Mr. Program. There we go. So we paste that, and we want to paste it, and we chunk, and then we scroll. Well, wait, first of all, the scroll isn't scrolling, it's zooming in and zooming out, which is slightly annoying, but while it occasionally leaves odd copies behind, most of the time it does not. It is still slightly hit and miss, but it is doing that. It still also does the really annoying thing of if you highlight a load of things and say move it to a layer, move it to layer 2, do you want all these things? Yes. Do you want to move all these things? What part of yes was unclear, so you still have to do that twice, which is a bit shit. In terms of other things, so if we open final strip 7, for example, there's my strip, I go to print, it'll say there's 8 pages of it because it's stupid, because it still doesn't remember this, so you have to go back and put them all in. And I wonder if you can actually type now. Can I type 12? No, I still can't type 12. You still only type one number in it. But there's my thing. You know, it feels a bit better as well. Feels slightly smoother and faster. So I am feeling slightly pissed. I mean, as I say, it's still got some really darn annoying shit to it. Such as you still can't seem to pick a different shape, even though that looks like a shape picking tool. But fair's fair, it does look like they have fixed some stuff. So, hallelujah, praise be and all that. I thought I would share with you because, after all, I've been quite vocal about how annoying it is. So today, although today has been yet another long day at work, I'm getting a bit tired of them. Because it's not like I'm likely to be paid, I don't believe. But I took my strips, I printed them out, I've chopped them up, and I've laminated them. Look, see, look. There is one strip, this is strip B, and here is strip A, in all 4 parts. Now, it did dawn on me that if I'd been a little bit more sensible, this could have gone slightly differently. Because if you actually look, strips 2 and 3 are basically identical. It's like, half of what's it upwards. So with a slightly different gap and whatever, this could have been absolutely identical. And we didn't take out all the dots, so only on this one, because, well, I never got around to it. So there are loads of dots in amongst here, but I know where the dots should be. So today, and on the back I've labelled them on which way up they are, so I don't get confused, because now I've got 8 sheets of duty. So, well, it's going to take a while, so I thought you could join me for what I have used as my kind of rage bait title, the prickening, because, well, now we get to prick it, which is just so much fun, and I know you find it so enthusiastically exciting. So, let's not be pretending that you think this is the most fascinating thing to do. But you join me on my journey for pricking 2 meters of squidgy little holes is how it works. Now there is another side to this, which is there is a bit of me having a ponder, because I'm wondering how many of these damn dots there really are. I didn't count them, but I know there's a lot. And the more accurate these are, the more precise this looks likely to be. For you don't blindly stab around looking for holes, for the holes already be. And as we know, we cross twist, pin, cross twist, and it is held by the pin in a spot. Therefore, the more regular and beautiful the pricking of the card, and the more accurate of the pin, the more accurate and beautiful the end result will be. Got cramp already and I'm only done 3 lines. It is roastingly hot. With any luck, someone will come along and say hi. Keep the conversation going, because there isn't much talk about doing this. I'm concentrating on stabbing it. What we really need. What we really need is one of those like cricket machines, but with a pin splitter, so that you can put your thing in. It goes around marking all your dots and your lines and your motifs and things, and then it goes back and it stabs all the dots. And I'm going cross-eyed every time I'm snapping a dot at the moment, which is proving not to be a good plan. Hey Bailey, is it as stupidly hot for you as it is for me? Dogs are currently resting, but that does not mean that the Red Bull filled meth head will not rise, because they're dogs after all. Yeah. She stopped biting my finger anyway for the moment. It's a relief after all. I mean, she doesn't bite them hard, but she just kind of like ponk and holds them. Well, I actually did some good things today, but sadly they were work related. Oh, and I printed these out and laminated them. And now I'm stabbing holes in them, which is really boring. I got the yawns. I've got some cold drink. They're talking of it getting hotter towards the end of the week now. I mean, I know originally they said at the beginning of this week it was going to be 37 and the whole world was going to end. Now it looks like it's going to be 34, 35 here by Friday, Thursday, Friday. So they were wrong, shocker. But it's still going to try. Inside my house, it's currently nearly 28 degrees. It's too hot. It's too freaking hot. And it won't likely cool down much either. Yeah. Got to keep doing some of this because this gives me hand cramp. I'm no longer 16, used to writing pages of notes a day, and stabbing lots of little holes apparently gives my hand the "but we don't like that" feeling, to the point I get pain in my arm about here as well. It's not RSI, I don't think. Oh, excuse me. It's streaming time as always. Liz has suddenly got the yawns, but yeah, I don't think it's RSI. It's not that kind. You know, RSI is usually defined as like tingling and numbness, and it's not that. It actually hurts, which makes me think it's just old, old, crappy, and annoying. I can't believe I've got to hit these bloody sheets today. Yes, I do appreciate that. Watching me stab holes, and a lot of holes. I mean, to be fair, I only really need to do this one to get going before we will start with this one. But all the same, the holes have to be pricked at some point. Yes, I'd love to have done. I do, but it's not the same. You'll understand in a minute. Hang on. For while these are very, very, very... She says knocking shit on the floor, as always. I was watching a video about ADHD and how basically the person in the video couldn't hold on to or pick up anything, and I have never felt more seen. So we have this one. It's too short. Too short. So the answer is yes, we do have one very much like it, but it's too short. Plus this has our inch marks down the side. What you need. You need to be down here a bit more like that. Okay. You can listen to the twanging of the... Where did I get to? There you go. So I heard that too, Doc. But I doubt it's interesting. It's probably next door doing the bins. Which I should also do mine. And I say this every Wednesday. And then never do. Oops, took my phone. Oh, yes, I fear this may be one of the world's most boring streams. Really must do my timesheet before I forget. Where's my squirty ball? As I say, it's important for me to keep taking my right hand away and doing odd exercise with it to try and help it not cramp up. Because, well, that's definitely a thing. I completely forgot about pulling out all the extra dots, to be honest. Absolutely forgot all about that. something I was going to do today if I got a chance. Well, I didn't get a chance, so... You know what, it's depressing looking at the fact that I've done what, 2 and a bit inches, and I've got basically 30 something inches to go. I've done what? Yeah, it's just under 2.5 inches. I hereby declare this will not be a long stream. I can't do this forever. I really can't, and I know I need to do it, but... We will try and get this strip done. But I wouldn't hold my breath. Because to be honest, it's sleeping weather. Not that you can sleep because it's too hot, you understand. But it's definitely not weather to be doing things in. It's definitely the kind of weather to get a large tub of ice cream, a spoon, and to do as little as is vaguely possible to do. One thing I do have to be careful of is, as I'm stabbing the holes, it's a bit like my eyes are trying to do the magic eye thing. The problem is I see magic eye things inverted because I go cross-eyed, not boss-eyed. So I'm getting cross-eyed every time I do it, which will strain my eyeballs. Which don't need any help in being crap. They're really good at that. Oh dear me. At least did get something to eat today. Wasn't exciting. Very early on I had kind of a late breakfast, which was some chicken tikka masala, chicken tikka, pre-cooked sliced chicken bits that I divided equally amongst 2 wraps, rolled them up, and ate one, and apparently I ate both, but I don't remember eating the second one, or the first one, whichever way round it is. I only have memories of eating one, and I had some pizza fatigue, because I like some pizza. But I am ready to sleep for a week. We'll see how far we can get before I kind of come. Because I have a horrible feeling that is definitely gonna happen before the end of this trip. sure I can keep doing this. It's too hot and my brain is turning to cheese quicker than the milk would if I left it out. It's kind of done its braining. It overbrained yesterday. And it did more braining today. I was working out how someone else did their job because the notes they've left had holes in. Or in one case, there were no notes at all. And of course, they were currently off sick. And, well, no one knows stuff about it. So we've been playing chase the string. Ooh, this says go here, so we go there. Oh, that says go there, so we go there. You know. Don't worry, we ended up back where we started, but... and where we thought we would end up, but of course we couldn't prove it. Well, now we proved it. And, as of about 5:40 this evening, we think it's fixed. Well, it's 2 days worth of hassle because of a bloke who didn't document anything. Which is all well and good when you're around to fix it and, you know, you're in a good mood and all of those kind of moments. Well, when you're not around, of course, it hits the fan. And it did. Because apparently this stuff keeps our business afloat. Of course it does. But no one knew a damn thing about it. Excuse me, I need to blow my nose. Bailey, my friend, I love you with all my heart. Thank you for joining me today. But I can't do this anymore. I need to get to sleep. I need to go to sleep. And as you're the only one here that I know of, I do apologise profusely. But I tried. I failed, but I tried. I have done 3 inches. Well, a bit, chunk, whatever. There's only like another 30-something billion to go. But I just I have no go. And some of it's the weather. I need to do my bins at some point, so I've got to find some more energy before I do that. But I really... well, I'm sure there's... well, I can recommend Darth Microtransactions. He'll be stabbing things, I think. I enjoy watching his Twitch streams. He's a good laugh. He's a nice lad. Seems fairly down to earth and not, you know, doesn't think too much of himself. But yeah, it's just too hot. And I know you understand that. Because frankly, staring with my mouth open a bit, drooling, is kind of where I feel my kind of body is trying to be. That feels like, you know, an aspirational moment. You know, if I could achieve that, I'll feel like I cracked it today. Because it is just too hot. But yeah, I'm sorry, because I'm sorry for myself as well, because, you know, if it hadn't been 50,000 degrees, I've been thinking it's about 9 million Kelvin all day, but I know it's not. But, you know, if I could have got some strip, you know, if I got to the bottom of the strip, we could have, you know, I know I wanted to varnish the bobbins again, but we could have started the bobbins, we could have wound some bobbins, so we got a bit more prep to do. More hole punching, more and more. But we have a plan, and as I say, the strips work quite well, in the sense of they go like this. So you have strip 1 and then there's a line, and you line the lines up. So this goes underneath and you line the lines up like this, which would be a bit awkward, so I may have to trim these a bit more so that they fit, because you don't really want them like this, because you have to have, otherwise the bobbins catch on them. But you also need to be careful of this, but if I stab it right, the stabbings can go through the transparent ear bit. So this goes kind of here, she says, making sure it's level like this, and it goes there like that, and then the next one goes down at the bottom in the same way. So again, line up the lines, and you know, and it makes our whole thing, as I say, I might have to trim off this bottom bit so that it's not, but to be honest, that's kind of the least of my worries right now. Stabbing all the holes is the aim of the game. So, and then I get to do side B, which is the ones that start with the small things. Yeah, looking forward to that. Not so much, no. But once it's done, that's it. Don't have to do it again. So, you know, like everything, you know, it's not like if I was printing them out on paper and then I needed to prick them, and then each time I wanted to make a strip I'd have to do it again because the paper was knackered. So, you know, that's why I laminate them, of course, so that I can reuse them strongly. But yeah, I will have to be careful when I'm lining them up and poking holes in things, but look how much you can see through them. Hang on. That's the one dipstick. You can sort of see through, so that would be where it joins, and you just, what you would probably do is you'd do down to the line, do up to the line, and then put some pins in to hold them, and then stab the ones in the middle. It's probably the easiest way to make sure they line up, is pin things and stab at it. While stabbing feels like a really good plan. I just, you know, I know it's only 8 o'clock at night, but I've run out of go. So I am sorry, but I thank you for understanding, and I hope that you find someone interesting to go and watch who is far more awake and not so hot and tired as I am. As I say, I'm slightly disappointed. I didn't even make an hour. It's close, but I didn't even make an hour. But I shall be back tomorrow, and it's going to be hot tomorrow. Let me just quickly clarify that. According to the weather, it's going to be marginally cooler tomorrow. Huzzah. Not a lot, but huzzah all the same. And basically liquid death on on Friday, Saturday and Sunday. So, well, I'm glad I do lates on Saturday. Not that it cools down very much. But yeah, we shall endeavour, is the phrase. But thank you anyway. And as I say, I'm sorry it's such a short one, but I shall speak to you tomorrow. Bye bye.